no one better personifies the colleagues and mentors that we find in our fellow publishers than Roy Robinson. You've got a lot of information about Roy in your program tonight, but one of the things I'd like to say is the way that Roy helps everyone. Anyone who's got a question, Roy has an answer, and he shares it so easily and so willingly. I also have to tell you that the idea of the Texas Newspaper Hall of Fame came from Roy Robinson. He was the one who initiated this project, who researched it, who took it as his own, and who chaired this selection committee. Well, up until finally last year, he resigned. And we could hardly wait to get Roy off the committee. Because we knew no one deserved recognition more than Roy, and as a committee member, he certainly wasn't going to get that. So Roy, the very first opportunity we have after your resignation from our foundation committee, we are proud to recognize you as a member of the Texas Newspaper Hall of Fame. Roy Robinson.
I'm going to set this over here for a moment. There are about three things I need to do first, and that's to make some apologies. Jerry Tidwell is the guy who came up with the idea for the Hall of Fame. I just helped him implement it.
You were the point man all the way.
And secondly, Judy, I need to apologize to you because some of my comments tonight are going to sound like a carbon copy of what you did. I wrote this earlier this week, and I really haven't seen your speech yet when I wrote it. And to the rest of you, I need to apologize. This thing is 19 pages long. But I might only read 18 because I'm a little nervous about the last page, so I may skip it by the time that I get there. When Larry Jackson called 2 months ago to tell me the selection committee's choice for the 2012 induction, I was dumbstruck. A few minutes later, my cell phone signaled a voice message. The message was from Larry, asking me to call him as soon as possible. My immediate thought was that the committee had recalculated the tally. And the earlier report was in error. Turned out the voice message had been recorded before Larry reached me on the landline. So I stand before you tonight deeply humbled by this honor and with indelible pride to be sharing this recognition with Dean Singleton. As many of you know, it was Dean Singleton who made it possible for me to come to Texas to complete my community newspaper career in his hometown of Graham. Dean, thank you very much. It is true indeed that in a situation like this, your hands get wet, your mouth gets dry, and it is also true that getting older is like a dirty diaper. You can act like it's no big deal, but people closest to you know differently. That explains my recent retirement from a career that I will forever cherish. My journey began with tools and technology I suspect are unknown to many of you. In my early years, hot type formed from molten lead filled heavy chases that had to be carried from a stone-top table to the flatbed press. 5-hole punched tape replaced many linotype operators before the advent of new technology, cold type replaced the clunky linotype machines. I recall my father, a lifelong newspaper man, firmly stating, "I'm not cutting out expletive-deleted paper dolls." Freedom Gestal writers, selective typewriters, Veritypers, CompuGraphics, and various other cold type devices didn't create paper dolls, but they provided the cut and paste type that launched the higher quality offset printing technology. Gone were the makeup rule, type stick, casting box, lead pigs, and yes, scars on hands and arms from a linotype squirt or from a splash in the lead cotton. Reduction wheels were then found on most desks. Ns, Ms, leads, slugs, and picas were heard less often. although the handy pica pole has survived through the generations and is used today for various measuring and slitting tests. My reason for a brief reflection on our tools of the trade over the past 6 decades is to point out that today's and tomorrow's changes in technology are just the next step in ongoing evolution. Are you counting? This is number 4. An unknown voice said some years ago, perhaps to a linotype operator wearing the customary green visor, if you don't like change, you're going to enjoy irrelevant even less. Today, business suicide is defined as doing what you did last year and expecting a different result. John Wooden, the late UCLA basketball coach, perhaps characterized it best. Failure is not fatal, but failure to change might be. At a TPA convention, this is where I get onto your turf here. At a TPA convention not so long ago, a seminar speaker confidently told us, we don't have a technology challenge, we have a content challenge. His words hit the proverbial nail. About that same time, speakers, educators, trade journalists, and even some among us tonight drummed us with the term hyperlocal. It was the path, the only reliable option to succeed. It was a warning then, it is a decree now. Today's community newspapers enjoy de facto franchises in their communities. If they protect their franchise and deliver what their neighbors, readers, and advertisers expect, the franchise is secure. If they fall short, the franchise is at risk. The choice is clear: deliver relevance or risk failure. No one else has the platform, the knowledge, or the head start that today's community newspapers hold. A content challenge? Absolutely. No one else can deliver and continually update developing hometown history, stimulating opinion, school honor rolls, school lunch menus, upcoming events, births, deaths, and so much more in one document, on one website, or on a mobile device. The franchise is ours to hold or to lose. If we quiz 10 people in the checkout line at the grocery store or on the street, how many of them can name each city council member, each school board member, each county commissioner? We regularly report on the council, school board, and commissioner meetings, but do we regularly name the people deciding public policy? Are we relevant? What became of box scores in school sports coverage? Box scores list the names of every player, whether he or she scored or not. What about box scores for JV players, middle school teams, little dribblers, little leaguers? Moms, dads, grandparents, and friends want and expect to see names in their hometown newspaper. Are we relevant? Count me among those who believe the horizon is bright for the community newspaper that steadfastly remains relevant. Whether the format of tomorrow is on paper, electronic, or digital, it will be provided best by community journalists. Journalists, yes, are human. We make mistakes, but that's why pencils have erasers. I applaud those of you committed to embracing change, recognizing value, and delivering relevance. Thank you so very much.
Well, we're going to miss you. The